Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just doing quick catch up after weekend, Monday as we speak now. The market is a little bit slow, however, we've got some bound momentum going on. Anyways, first thing first, a disclaimer guys, Forex or stock or anything you trade in or any businesses carry high level of risk. Please do not put blind eye on the risk. You should know the risk is existed and you should take account of for. So if you trading, you should have your percentage calculated before opening any trade or become a gambler. Don't be a gambler. So if you gamble, that's meaning you don't count for a risk and you could lose a lot of money or you could lose all your money. And this education I'm providing here is only for education purpose. So I'm not an investor provider, advisor. I only provide you with some technical experience and analyzing the market. No one knows where the market is going to go. The only one knows where the market is going to go with experience is just someone like me or someone else have experience on the field with history who know if that candlestick does this, this trend is up, this trend is down, economy. If you study it and follow up on it, then you will know what you're doing. So get that out of the way. Let's move on, guys. Um, okay, I'm looking at the moment. I'm looking at. Let me just change the color quickly. Here we go. So I'm looking at S&P 500 future contract. Yes. We look at that today. We open up the day and we break the new high of the day. I mean, like the previous day, Friday, we broke above it and we just isolated here. Today is US market. Chicago market is going to close early because of Memorial Day today. So the market is a little bit slow. It's not fast enough to make a movement. So probably we're going to be isolating at the same price. I don't believe today we will be above the 3,000. That's what I'm looking for. 3,000 mark is quite important. A lot of investors will be looking at it and traders. So possibilities we're going to see is just like a wick up here and the day probably going to close below around here before the closing. Or maybe we can stay around as it is now. So let's just see. Let's see what's happened today. For me today, I didn't trade it today, so I'm flat. I know it's high today, but I'm sure that we're gonna see some resistance coming around here. We're gonna break, fairly break lower maybe, and if everything work out well at the coronavirus situation, then probably we're gonna come back up again for another test. Also, don't forget, as we have one test here and multiple days trying to break above this is really strong. Area to look for the 3000 mark. Looking at gold dollar chart, and that's we look on the daily here. You see that gold kind of like started to behave as a safe haven. As long as the S&P 500 going up, we see gold start to show some momentum. I'm very interested to this candle here. That red candle here coming back down. We tested the 50%. If you look here, we come we test 50% of the candle, more or less, and we kind of like stopped there, come back down the next day, and we kind of hold at the moment here, right there. So let's see what's going to happen here, whether or not it's going to break a below again, come back, retest, and prepare again. And that's the daily, so probably looking around here. First area to look for will be the 20 moving average. And if we break below the 20 moving average and start consolidate and broke lower, that will be a good trade. If S&P 500 indeed going up, but I think S&P 500 will see some resistance, so trading gold at the moment is quite tricky. Since this area here, you see that we kind of still inside here since April, the end of April, mid-April actually, 13th of April. So we still really didn't do much just to come above or broke above this two swing here. So there's one swing here too, and we broke above it, just above it, and we come back inside again. So there's a failure to break a new high, and we will try the bottom if we see whether or not it's going to be majority of the trader want to actually take it down. If so, still no guarantee that S&P 500 actually going up. It could be going down and gold going down with it as it happened before here, right there. So S&P 500 is really high and gold is really high, you see. So both of them are really high, not all-time high here, but 8 years highs. So gold for me is not a trade zone too long yet, unless it will really come back down here and show me something similar to this V formation and so on and so forth, like this double top, come back down quickly, come back up quickly, and retest again, and we start seeing this. Your trade will be like around here, your trade will be above here, and if you trade a low time frame, you're probably going to be trading around here. You exit above the highs of this trade day. Then after that, you break above. If you enter a day trade up, so probably if you break a new high and you see this momentum is strong, a low time frame, you're probably going to be targeting these highs here, and so on and so forth until you get to a proper level. Like this one didn't really just reach it very well, but normally I take my profit just before the interesting point of exiting, like the previous high. I just make like maybe 10 pips or 20 pips gap. If my trade working well, green, I love green, then I stay around. If I see that lagging like a wax here, 1, 2, 3 days, break below it, we'll have a small trend in the low time frame, come back again, strong, come back retest, a breakout, and we'll continue up. That's your breakout point here, right there. If you see this kind of wicks on the daily or hourly or 4 hours, that will indicate a strong support and resistance. Same goes here. We'll try to break above it. We see that we have a failure. We have a 1, 2, 3 days. Then we'll try to break above it. It looks like it's going to become a failure. Then probably we'll come down and retest the lows. So what we'll be looking for down there, or I'll be looking for a similar situation here. Wicks, that mean the buyer pushed the price back up and the seller giving up. So that's why you're looking for candlestick pattern. It's very important candlestick pattern because it's going to tell you how much it's like a volume. Candlestick is actually all the data you receive on any indicator, any given indicator or EAs, it will determine the price from incoming tick, and that tick is will build up whether or not positive or negative, ones and zeros like a computer, ones and zeros. So the more zeros and more ones, or more positive or more negative come in the market, that's what the candlestick build up of. It's just visual of how many ticks that come in, whether or not the price up or down. So candlestick is very important. Do not ignore it. Uh, that's the minimum experience you should have is candlestick behavior and patterns. And if you broke the previous high, the previous low, that will indicate a lot of decision for the big players. So keep your eye on that. Do not ignore the candlestick or put on top of it another indicators, and you totally ignore it. You fill up your chart with so many indicators that you actually don't see the real price and the real movement. Like here, guys, look at this one here. Everyone will think about, okay, look at that, it's just normal candle pullback, but the reality is it's really strong. And if you go down inside this day itself, you will see that inside it is a lot of buyer more than seller. And the next thing is the comeback retest here, you see. Then after that, they take it all the way up, and the next day they didn't give you a chance, you just continuing, because there's a lot of traders just buy above the previous day. A lot of traders just open at the close. Big money is not just a small money like us, is really huge a lot of money. They move the market. The market doesn't just move because it's me and you. It does move with a huge amount of money, like trillion of dollars to move market like that. So yeah, stay alert. Do not ignore the basic information, because trading is simple to look at it. If it's buyer, look that is green, yeah, okay. The next day, look that went below. For example, here went below the close. Okay, cool. So what I do, just leave trade above the highs or above the close, and you just let it go. Let it go up, then you leave your stop loss below there. If you're wrong, you lost this. But if you're right, then you made a really 2 to 1. If you're on me 2 to 1, look at that. There you go. Or 3 to 1. It depends how much is your stop loss whereabout. If I enter here, for example, and I see it coming back up, if I'm like, okay, Asia, then look, we went down first, then after that, coming back up strong inside the low time frame, of course, is going to do like retesting. And what happens is you see that momentum, then you put your order here and you leave your stop loss below there, and you take profit by 1, profit 2. So you see, that's a low time frame. just inside one day, right there. So there's a lot of strategy to trade. There's a lot of way to drive your car. There's a lot of way to communicate with people. So you see, there's a lot of strategy in the market as well. A lot of people waiting for the right momentum, and the most uh, focus trades people that make decision of it's a candlestick, because candlestick will tell you how many buyer, how many sellers. So if the buyer more stronger than sellers, then the probability is we're going up. If the seller more stronger than buyer, then the probability is we're going down. Then what is your trigger? Your trigger is you break a proper swing low on the low time frame. You see there's a lot of consolidation on this level, and as soon as we break that level, strong momentum down, for example, then I come back up retesting and is immediately rejected. It didn't stay enough time there to think about it. As soon as you come there, people just jump in and they start sell, 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 sell. So that's when you should be trigger your trade, not randomly. Okay, guys. Moving on to the next. So, guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment, and I'll be happy to reply back to you as soon as possible. And subscribe to support this channel for future videos and so on. I'm planning to do a lot of videos on how to use candlesticks and how to open your trade, how to decide whether or not that's the right trade for you, and money management and so on and so forth. Looking at Bitcoin on Monday, you see that Bitcoin, as I talked about over the weekend, I see that pullback here, and I'm looking for a measure move. The measure move looks like is almost complete. I'm looking for 8.5. It touched like how much? Come all the way down to 6.3. So I think we're gonna see one more leg down. Maybe very much today. We broke below that swing, and we did it really in one day, and we closed below it, and now we're retesting. We couldn't even close the gap of the breakout and second breakout, and that's the third one. So we are right at the third level. I think that is going to continue lower. Maybe we're going to make a few spike like that, but if you short, you should exit quite close to this level, not the below one, not this one. This one is better, and minimum the 400 area minimum. But obviously, if his price start rolling down, whoever was trying to buy probably the stop loss just below somewhere here. If they enter the day to day at the opening and went back up again, they move the stop loss from here to there. And as soon as we start to come back to this level, we're gonna roll over quickly because there's a lot of stops around there. So that's Bitcoin. Okay, I'm looking at oil now. And as I talked about the 50% here, you see that we can like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, almost a week plus one day, week and one day. We kind of stuck at this level now. Today is the 25th. To go another 5 days before the month is over. I think probably tomorrow we'll see some momentum down, at least to the 20 moving average. So if you long, you should have exit here quite a while, like above the 250 moving 50 Fibonacci. I would do that if I'm in future or Forex contract for different CFD, and I'll be expecting pullback down here. Just a similar situation here, but it's just kind of sloppy and come back up. I'm just doing the same thing. It's like a wavy. So just bear in mind that that could be the maximum price for this month. We still have 5 days left or more, and probably going to see some momentum back up. And if start to fade away like this one from the breakout is a good opportunity. Here is a nice breakout, measure move. Here is a nice breakout. This measure move equals this measure move in the size. If you do it correctly with a Fibonacci, more or less, you should always take your profit just before the target area, because sometimes it doesn't reach that level by pip. So you don't want to lose all this money for just one pip, guys. Okay. Um, Move on to the next. Oh, what happened? Sorry. Here you go. Move on to the next. Dollar index. You see that dollar index is kind of like we went down strong, coming back up, and now like we 50%. So from that high to that low, are we right in the middle 50%, showing you rejection. Also, the stock today is a really weak day of trading, so I think that's gonna have another leg down here. So this move will be equal this move. So watch out for that. If you want to trade it, you can trade the dollar index. It's a good opportunity. Do not forget the fact is we're still in the range. It's kind of ranging here. There is no any decision yet to break high or low. If it does, it will retest and continue down, or you're going to be a fake momentum. Do not just sell it because comeback retest. Do not just leave a pending order here. You need to see how it's going to react when it comes to retest. If it rejects it quickly, from the next candle, you just start selling. However, sometimes they do come back up again quickly to retest the high and come back down. I mean, again. So it's like a shaking up the traders and whoever. There's another strategy. I'm not going to talk about it now. I don't want to make the video very long. So just stay tuned to it, and I will explain exactly why the price come back up again and come back down quickly. Here we have a Euro USD. You see that USD getting weaker, Euro is taking the benefit of, but recently in the last hour, I think Euro getting weaker against pound, so pound is getting stronger for some reason. Not sure what it is. I didn't really check the news yet, but looks like we have a nice hold here. That's one to take. Two, we have a Wexy here, so probably gonna have similar situation Wexy here before we break somewhere else. So no trade for me, but it is a good trade if you wanted to take it for another retest here, and probably gonna see some a pattern shaped around this level. So because we broke before, and what happened is now we're right in the middle. We come in the middle at the exiting point, but that's a very famous pattern for me. If you come back up, come back down at the last quarter of the triangle, probably gonna see a major move of this major move. So that's my expectation is to come back up again here. If dollar indeed is getting weaker, if the stock going up, so it's they're all related, they're all connected. So stay alert about this, the whole picture, the bigger picture. Pound, see that last week, pound went up, closed 20 moving average, really didn't really test it, come back down 50%. Let's see what's going to happen this week. So my expectation is going to be a little bit higher than this one, just above the 20 moving average, come around here and retest and continue back up. If that's so, then probably I'll be targeting that 50% or higher, 60%, at least this level, that low here is going to be very interesting. That high is going to be very interesting. So you go yourself a zone around this level, just before the 25. Maybe we're going to touch the 25 quickly like we happened here before, and we have here once, and just one before we didn't really touch the 25 exactly. So just be alert. Today's Monday is not much of money flowing globally, so today probably going to be just stay like that. Probably tomorrow or the rest of the week, probably going to see where the market actually wanted to go. So far, we see that the green strong, the red is just not as strong as the green. So probably going to see one more push up, and that will be above the 20 moving average. Secondly, is my target is the 25. Okay, moving on. That's a pound yen, same stories. If yen getting strong, probably going to see sideways here. So keep in mind that if yen getting strong because stock going down, then yen and pound kind of strong. So probably going to see some isolation here or pound session, London session, probably see some momentum up. In Asia session, probably going to see some pullbacks. So that will be up to pound momentum. If pound momentum is up, then we're going to see this isolation. Same goes here, guys, with pound Aussie. You see that nice trade one, nice trade two, nice trade three, all measure move, all perfectly fine, beautiful. As soon as you come below the 20 moving average, retesting it, rejected. You see that you can short right there and you take your profit as a measure move. Come back again, retest the 20 moving average, and you see the momentum come back down even more lower than it's supposed to be. So we break below it, look like a failure, come back up, retest, and come back down again, and it's right stuck on the exiting point of a lot of money. So what they're gonna do from here? Let's see. If S&P 500 go lower, then Aussie it will take short. So Aussie will be short. If S&P 500 going down, at least retest again to this level above the 20 moving average. Then we'll see some pullbacks before they make a move again. And pound will help if pound has become strong for the rest of this week. I know they look like a wick here on the day, Friday. Let's see what's happened today, Monday. We tested 50% of the previous day, and we're still really there. If it's a lot of seller, think about it. If it's a seller waiting now 50% to sell it hard, that's not hard enough, because if so, we're probably going to see some momentum down. Plus, S&P 500 today is the volume is really low, so it's not going to do what it's supposed to do. So moving on to the next, that's a pound New Zealand. So if you look at pound New Zealand at the moment, it is New Zealand is strong, showing some momentum. However, pound can be strong as well. So pound New Zealand, sorry, is going to go somewhere up. We did the move down. What we're going to see, look up maybe around these highs, or these highs here below, or actually they're actually matching here well. You see that one, you see here two, and what we're looking for, three. Go what this candle here, touch it and break below it, and that was a good trade as well here. Come back down, consolidate. If that's going to continue up at least to this level, then probably going to go for a major move from the breakout to the breakout. So breakout from here, come back retest here, or be looking for a major move. Okay. Next, CAD. CAD showing some weakness at the moment because of the end of the month, oil, you know the story. So we will talk about the last few days, look like it's building a base here, is holding ground, and if bounce is getting strong, probably going to see some momentum back up, at least to these highs, these lows here. One, as you could be your the first target could be this one, the second target would be just this one, the third target would be this one, before we see any other moves, but could just swing through high if oil started losing momentum. But I'm still not sure about oil, because if we open for business again, probably oil will come back to normal, and that's when CAD can get some momentum. But we have a nice swing low now, and probably that's a true profit taking. And if they think about the sentiment start to change, probably they're going to come back up again to retest this 50% from this high to this low. If I say 50% retest, probably going to be a failure to break through. Could be a failure to just go back down. Instead, it will just can handle and actually break more higher ground. If so, we will know. We will know beforehand, because if we see a green giant candles start building up and pullbacks, and the next candle is bigger. Sorry for my drawing, but that's where you will know that there's a lot of trade going on. Then I got another one here, retest. The next day will be like break higher. So we will know from the candle size, from the low time frame all the way up to the higher time frame. Okay. Okay, guys, I think this is it. What else? That's it. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for being here. Please subscribe and like if you like my videos. Subscribe to support it, and like, and I will be in touch with you very soon. Thanks, guys. Take care. Have a great day. Take care. Bye bye.